My name's Toby, and after spending my whole life training in various forms of internal and external martial arts and fixing multiple problems in my body, I've had 5 years of back pain, 4 surgeries on my belly, bad knees, bad back from childhood, I seem to have developed a new method of training, and I call this training body efficiency training. Now, it's my own thing, this is what I've developed. It's sort of incidental. I didn't mean to develop this, but I've been always fascinated by the mind-body connection, how it works, how to understand it, and how to develop it. And in doing so, I've been searching for the underlying principles of all these trainings I've been doing. What does it all boil down to? And it all boils down to we're trying to build a more efficient body. So how do you do that? Well, this is what I've developed, and this is what I want to share with you in this channel. And this is really exercise number one. I want to build a series of exercises that I can explain this, and you can all understand it and follow along if you like. But follow along very carefully, there are risks involved. So here I am doing exercise number one, the arm swing. And I'm trying to keep a nice alignment of the spine. I'm trying to hold my spine up in its natural S-curve. That means I've got to pull in the belly, lift up the rib cage a bit, hold the obliques. So I'm holding up the frame like a dancer. I've got a slight bend in the knee and I'm keeping my weight on the heels. That's the basic level. So I do suggest you go back and have a look at the basic level again. And if you feel like it, practice that a bit first. But here I am trying to do level two. So this is the intermediate level. And I'm twisting a bit further now. I'm allowing my weight to shift side to side. And I'm allowing the hip to turn a bit more, so I lift up the back foot and pivot a bit on the ball of the foot. So this allows me to do a greater movement with my hips and my spine, and I can spin around a bit further. So the arms I can get to go around and hit myself at the back of the body. And at the moment I'm hitting the back hip and the back of the midriff. But what I'm trying to do is feel a flow through my body. I'm trying to feel the nice alignment of the spine. It's still vertical. I'm not leaning. I'm vertically sliding left and right with my hip joint, and I'm pivoting in the same way as I was when I was just standing up straight. And now the other difference is, in level one I'm on the back of the heels. Now this level two I'm moving my weight a bit more forward towards the ball of the foot, so it's a slightly different dynamic. And the problem is when you go forward you tend to lose the spinal alignment, so I've got to keep the same spinal alignment that I had in level one on the heels, but shift my weight forward, so it means I've got to tilt the hip joint a bit more. So I've got to feel a movement in my hips, a movement in my ankles, a movement in my rib cage. I'm keeping the rib cage up and back, but my arms are getting more and more relaxed. At this level, I've got to relax the arms more and more. Elbows, wrists and fingers totally relaxed. They become like rubber. You can just feel them bouncing around. And they swing naturally. I'm trying to get a whip into the arms. And now I've got the feeling of this greater motion. I come back to the midpoint, a normal, a light, gentle horse riding stance, but my weight is now slightly forward on the ball of the foot. My toes are slightly out, and this allows a greater movement in the hips with an upright spine. So I'm trying to feel the movement through my whole body, but again, I'm not compromising the S-curve in the spine, and I'm very careful not to twist the knees. I'm trying to feel the movement in the ankles and the hips and the rib cage. My rib cage I've got to pull back or stretch back in the twist, and let it also stretch forward in the twist. I'm trying to mobilise every vertebra in the spine, keeping a slight tension in the torso just to hold up the frame, hold the spine in the right place. I feel a suspension from the crown of my head, pulling my chin in so that I feel I've got something pulling me up, holding me up, so I'm suspended, but at the same time my pelvis is dropping down. I'm feeling that pulling down to the ground. So I'm stretching inside, so I've got to hold a bit of tension to feel this stretch through the spine. So that's where the work is done, but the arms are totally dead, relaxed. Elbows down to the fingers, totally relaxed. And this is quite tricky to do. It's localized relaxation. I've got to hold the shoulders up a bit, but relax the elbows and the fingers. And now I go back to the bigger swing, so practicing this a bit further, keeping the weight a bit forward onto the balls of the feet. So I'm a bit more bouncy, I've got a bit more bounce. But again, I'm not taking the bounce into the knees, it's got to be the ankles, the hips, and then from there the spine. And I could swing a bit further and the arms just swing around naturally. And I'm trying to reach the back kidney. My back hand has got to swing all around and hit the back kidney, and the front hand hits the side of the ribs. So I'm trying to get this naturally to happen. And this is where you can see it's moving into martial arts, because we're trying to generate strikes. But I'm generating a strike very efficiently. There's no work being done in the elbow or the wrist at all. In fact, very little work in the shoulder. Is all done from the body, the movement in the body, and the arm swings out like a whip. But now what am I hitting? I'm hitting hitting myself. So in order for me to pull it back again, I've got to control the obliques. So as I swing out, I've got to catch myself at the end of the swing and pull back. And this is where you get that little whip effect in the arms. So it takes a long time to practice, and you've got to practice very, very carefully, and always end with this nice standing up straight position, and try and keep the alignment throughout the rest of the day. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.